Now, I am sure that you are probably already aware of the fact that the computer universe theory has been around a while, and that scientists are now simulating our own and other universes inside computers. So what I did here is try to prove that the universe is indeed a computer, and I started by comparing the bits and pieces of the universe to bits and pieces of computer technology using multiple internet search engines. One of the most amazing things that I first noticed was how the lingo used by computer nerds to describe bits and pieces of computer technology is virtually identical to the lingo used by astrophysicist nerds to describe the bits and pieces of the natural universe. As we bear in mind that the natural universe is reducible to computation, supposedly according to this book here, and with scientists working for Scientific American magazine here to postulate that black holes are supposedly computers, with the late astrophysicist Stephen Hawking here, and in spirit, I hope, to suggest that black holes are gateways to parallel universes, and with me here to suggest that parallel universe theory might have something to do with computer universe theory and parallel computing, whereby our universe and its one or many counterparts might be part of some kind of gigantic parallel computing system in which they are all performing calculations and simulations simultaneously, which is what parallel computers do. And with the concept of parallel distributed computer systems falling into place here, with emphasis on the word distributed, as we compare the distribution of the galaxies in our universe to the concept of the distribution of a bunch of computers in a distributed computer system, with black holes also being distributed throughout the universe, supposedly, as if part of some kind of distributed computing system, which would include computer clusters and superclusters of computers and supercomputers, like these that are or will be flashing by on your screen. If we use our imagination a little bit, we can see the similarities, as we bear in mind that cluster computing essentially involves a bunch of different interconnected computers acting as a singular unit or singular computer, just like galaxies and clusters of galaxies and stars and their respective black holes are supposedly interconnected by wormholes into the singular unit of the universe that is dominated by galaxy and star clusters and superclusters with black holes at and near their centers, supposedly. Also consider the significance of the fact that galaxies merge into superclusters of galaxies in the exact same way clusters of computers merge into cluster supercomputers. What I am getting at here is that not only does the lingo used by computer geeks and astronomy geeks overlap into each other, but the architecture of black hole and star and galaxy clusters and superclusters are abstractly identical to cluster and supercluster computer and supercomputer architecture. You also need to bear in mind that computer systems are electrically charged and largely made of silicon and metals and their respective oxides, which are all relatively abundant throughout the universe, which of course is electrically charged, all of which you can confirm by looking it up on the internet. And when I started Googling liquid and fluid and water-cooled supercomputers and supercomputer clusters, at the same time I Googled the cooling and heating dynamics that transpire at and near the cores of galaxies and clusters of galaxies. These comparisons are what popped up on my screen, including the fact that water is relatively abundant in the universe, and water is frequently used to cool not just supercomputers but central processing units. I don't think it is too much over the top to suggest that water molecules condensing and perhaps even circulating around black hole cores of galaxies and clusters of galaxies and stars would help keep these cores and their surrounding regions cool, as if the universe were playing the role as some kind of liquid-cooled multi-core supercomputer. And with the core of our Earth falling into place here, just for fun, with me having little doubt that the huge amount of water on the Earth is probably doing its part to absorb heat generated by Earth's core. With the same being said of other living planets with large bodies of water, perhaps as components in a multi-core supercomputer we call the universe. And if you like this video, then share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can receive notifications when I upload a new video.